A to the K.
to the K.
To the K. Coming at you quicker than Logan Paul on the United States Championship, it's time once again for the Rapid Roundup. Kicking off with SmackDown, Rey Mysterio and the LWO start the show. Rey says Logan stole his United States Championship, a crown jewel, and without the brass knucks, he'd still be standing here as the United States champ. But Carlito comes out and interrupts. He says, don't blame Logan, blame the person who left the brass knucks on the apron, Santos Escobar. He would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling apple eater. This outrages Santos. Santos leaves the ring. We then get Bobby Lashley versus Carlito as the first match of the night. The Street Profits get involved, and that allows Bobby to pick up the win. After the match, they start beating down Carlito, and Santos watches on at ringside, doesn't help out at all. Eventually, Rey does come down, he makes a save, and he questions Santos, who says, Carlito is part of the family, what are you doing? Just as Rey starts to attend to Carlito, Santos Escobar attacks him, but Rey retaliates. Then he kind of feels bad, he apologizes, but Santos attacks Rey as the rest of the LWO come to his aid. Now, it appears this is a way to write him off TV for a bit. He just had knee surgery, so wishing Rey a speedy recovery, but yeah, lots of madness to kick off SmackDown. Moseying on over to LA Knight, who basically says he would be WWE champ if it wasn't for Jimmy Uso. Grayson Waller interrupts and questions whether LA Knight is the guy. He says he doesn't belong in the ring with Roman Reigns. LA Knight, though, compliments Grayson's first day of school haircut, which is weird because he looks like someone who isn't allowed within 50 yards of a school. Haha. This ultimately turns into a match, which LA Knight wins. After the match, though, Grayson Waller and Theory antagonize Kevin Owens, who is on commentary. And Nick Aldis basically said, you can be on commentary, Kevin, but you're not allowed to fight anyone. If you do, you'll be suspended. But just as Grayson Waller pours a big bottle of water over Kevin Owens' head, he decides to retaliate and is likely now suspended. So, yeah, not too sure what's going on with Kevin Owens. Bit of a damp squib, really. They've moved him over to SmackDown, and we've not really seen much of him at all so far. So, don't know if he's injured. Don't know if it's just a way to keep him on TV. Not really sure. And also, we had a match with Dragon Lee getting a win over Cedric Alexander. Then Bayley brings out Io, Kairi, and Dakota Kai. Kairi Sane says she forgives Bayley for what she did to her. And Bayley, despite insisting she's not a hugger, but the group force her to hug anyway. Bianca Belair, though, comes out. She says her mistake was thinking that Io could do it on her own. Then Charlotte comes out, followed by Asuka. Asuka tells them that no one's ready for Asuka. And then the main event is a 3-on-3 match. Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka versus Io, Bayley, and Kairi. But Asuka mists Bianca, hugs Kairi in the middle of the ring, and then all four of them hug. A disqualification is called, and a beatdown follows. Shotzi tries to help, but Damage Control ultimately stand tall. So yeah, looks like we're getting War Games here, which is interesting. So the Women's War Games match seems to be on the cards, but maybe Becky Lynch going to be in there as well. But are we just going to get a 4-on-4? It seems like with the revelations on Raw, which I'll come on to in a minute, typically we get 5-on-5. So let's see how this one progresses. But yeah, looks like Damage Control is firmly in control, but is Bayley going to be the one to front the group come Survivor Series? Moving on to Raw, Cody kicks off the show. He says he's going to win the tag titles in the main event. Then he brings out his War Games team even. Seth Rollins gets in his face a little bit, which is interesting. Obviously, those two still not really on the same page. Then Judgment Day come down. Cody, though, he says he's shocked that they even figured out how to get to the ring without Mommy. After all, she is the leader. Damian, though, finally snaps and he admits he is the leader, but the rest of Judgment Day look pretty shocked by this. Rollins says that we're already getting Cody and Sammy in the main event, so why not have Seth and what's his face? It's not Cody and Sammy. We're getting Cody and Jay in the main event, so why not get Sammy and Seth taking on the other members of Judgment Day in right now. So the match ultimately ends in disqualification after the rest of Judgment Day get involved. Shock horror. Cody and Jay come down. We get another big brawl. Adam Pearce comes down once again and says that all this needs to stop. The four of them are in the main event tonight. And the fans deserve to have that title match. So basically, the rest of them are banned from the arena for the main event. Rhea Ripley, who's there, is furious. And just as Pierce is about to ban her as well, Zoe Stark interrupts and she says she's going to be champ at Survivor Series. Rhea goes to attack her, but Zoe lowers the ropes and sends Rhea to the outside. So, hell of a lot of stuff going on to kick off Raw. We also got JD McDonough being inducted officially into the Judgment Day by Damian Priest. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Otis. Tegan Nox defeated Piper Niven. Ludwig Kaiser defeated Tommaso Ciampa. And Xia Li defeated Indy Hartwell via knockout. So, interesting what they're doing with Xia Li at the moment. But after that match, Becky Lynch comes down and says next week it's going to be Becky versus Xia. So, let's see how that one unfolds. The Miz has several confrontations, first with Ivar and Bronson Reed, and then also Gunther. Miz tells Gunther that he does what it takes to win, and Gunther says he knows exactly who he's dealing with. He wishes him luck for his match against Ivar, but warns him whatever happens out there will be no comparison to the beating of a lifetime he'll face at Survivor Series. Miz manages to defeat Ivar after Bronson Reed causes a distraction. So it looks like we're going to get a bit of an Ivar versus Bronson feud, obviously alongside this Miz and Gunther feud. Then the main event tag titles are on the line. Cody and Jey challenging the Judgment Day, trying to get their titles back. And just as they look like they're about to do that, a wild Drew McIntyre appears, claymores Jey in the face, and that allows Finn to get the pin and the win. We rhyme. After this, Rhea Ripley comes out on the stage and shakes Drew's hand. So yes, Drew McIntyre is officially heel. I'm here for it. I am excited. And it looks like War Games is now going to be 5-on-5 on the men's side. But I wonder who will join the babyface team. I'm hearing some voices in my head, and they understand it's going to be none other than Randy Orton. So expect him to return next week to put the rest of the fans off the scent that maybe CM Punk is going to show up, because it looks like that ain't going to be the case. We then move over to AEW's MJF and Daniel Garcia in a title match kicking off the show, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody, MJF retains. After the match, Garcia goes to shake MJF's hand, but he is stopped by Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange. So, yeah, interesting. I'm guessing Garcia's maybe turning face, breaking up from those guys, but yeah, decent match, but were we ever really expecting MJF to lose here? We follow on this with Sting and Darby Allin making pretty short work of the Outrunners. Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida have a backstage contract signing. The Gun Club beats some jobbers up, and Swerve Strickland defeats Penta. After the match, Hangman appears, attacks him with a chair, beats up some security as well, and then hits a Deadeye off the stage through a table. So yeah, this is all heating up. We are getting a Texas Death Match at Full Gear, so exciting times there. Then, Big Meaty Men slap some meat. Samoa Joe defends the Ring of Honor TV title against Keith Lee. Joe gets the job done after he chokes out Keith Lee. After the match, though, he lays the title in the ring and declares he's forfeiting it because he wants MJF's world title. Not being funny, but what a crock of shit that is. Hasn't he challenged for the title before while also being champ? It doesn't make any sense why he would forfeit it. Bit of a crazy idea if you ask me. So, yeah, no idea what they're thinking there. We then get Julia Hart defeating Red Velvet. After the match, Sky Blue gets in a face, and then Statlander and Willow come down. So maybe we're getting a fatal four-way triple threat or something. So we'll see what happens there. Also, Mariah May has signed with AEW. She seems to have a bit of a Toni Storm superfan gimmick at the minute, which is interesting. But yeah, big up to AEW. Mariah May is a very good signing indeed. In the main event, Jay White defeats Mark Briscoe. Bit of a poor main event, if you ask me. After the match, MJF comes down. White's got MJF's title, but MJF's got the Dynamite ring, and White ultimately retreats. MJF, though, cuts a promo, and he's interrupted on the Tron, which shows the Acclaimed getting beaten up backstage. Bowens is thrown through a pane of glass. We see the devil mask, and then MJF goes to check on them. So who is behind the mask? It remains to be seen. I don't know what they're going to do that isn't going to disappoint the majority of people, let's be honest. Everyone wants it to be Punk. I can't see it being Punk. Is it Adam Cole? Maybe. Is it Britt Baker? Who knows? Over to Rampage. Let's make it short and sweet, shall we? Ricky Starks defeats Preston Vance. Red Velvet gets a shock win over Ruby Soho. And the Kingdom defeats some jobbers. We also get FTR defeating Commander and El Hijo del Vikingo. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, should we even cover Rampage anymore? It's definitely become a bit pointless. Let us know in the comments. Over onto Collision though. Andrade makes his way to the ring, followed by CJ Perry. So it looks like Andrade has acquired her services. He battles Daniel Garcia, who's looking for retribution after losing the biggest match of his career. Andrade, though, does get it done with the figure eights. Nice little shout out to Charlotte there. And we can see that Miro has been watching the match backstage. So yeah, definitely set for something here with Andrade and Miro. Maybe Full Gear, but not a lot of build-up if that's the case. Then we get Nick Wayne defeating Dalton Castle. Hangman announces it's going to be a Texas death match. I spoiled that one a bit early, but yeah, so Full Gear, it's Swerve and Hangman in a Texas death match. Dralistico and Roosh defeat the Workhorsemen. Roderick Strong returns to the ring, neck brace and all, and gets a win over Darius Martin. And Powerhouse Hobbs squashes some jobber while Paul White's on commentary, and there's a bit of a stare down between them after that. Then we get the announcement of the Continental Classic. So it's going to be 12 competitors, a bit of a take on the G1 by the looks of it. They're going to crown the winner at World's End. And the first participant is none other than Bryan Danielson. Guess if you can't go and do the G1 in Japan, then make your own version. So yeah, interesting. Also, we find out that Danielson is announced to appear at All In, which is awesome because he missed it last time with an injury. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him there. Willow takes on Julia Hart. Julia has set the stipulation if she beat Willow, she's going to get a shot at Statlander's title of Full Gear. Julia does get the win, but we seem to be set for a triple threat match after all, because the winner of Sky Blue and Red Velvet is going to be getting the third spot. And in the main event, The Righteous and Lance Archer take on Sting, Darby, and Adam Copeland. Babyfaces get the win. After the match, Christian comes down and stares down Adam Copeland to end the show. So yeah, I know it's not exactly the go-home show for Full Gear. Obviously, we've got a couple of shows this week that's going to get us there, but I don't know. There's some things feel like they've been a bit drawn out. There's other things that feels like we've not got enough time, so we will see. I'm sure Full Gear, match-wise, will be a banger. They always are, but as always as well, from a complaints department, I don't know, storylines, give them a bit more time to breathe, maybe. I know we've got a couple with the MJF mask and stuff at the minute, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know, something's just a little bit missing. But yeah, what do you think of the shows this week? Let us know in the comments, and we will catch you on the next one.